The needle went in clean. No hesitation. I watched my own hand press the plunger, watched Keisha's eyes go wide, watched her mouth form a word she'd never finish. The heroin wasn't hers. It was mine. And I put it in her arm while she was passed out drunk, while the guards were changing shift, while the cameras had their 3-minute blind spot that everyone knew about but nobody talked about. They found her an hour later. Blue lips. Cold skin. The official report would say self-inflicted overdose. The unofficial whispers would say Naomi Ward finally snapped. My name is Naomi Ward. I'm 32 years old. I've been inside for 6 years. Armed robbery, they said. The truth is messier, but the truth doesn't matter in here. What matters is that I killed my cellmate 3 days ago, and nobody knows it was me. I'm a black woman in a system designed to break black women. Dark skin that guards look through like I'm transparent. Hair I keep in tight cornrows because loose hair is a target. A body that's learned to take up less space with every passing year. I've watched myself disappear in the metal mirrors we're allowed. What's left isn't anger. It's something colder. The morning after Keisha died, I woke to silence. Not the usual prison silence where you can hear breathing, snoring, the constant shuffle of bodies against concrete. Real silence. The kind that crawls inside your ears and nests there. Her bunk above me was stripped. Mattress gone. Sheets gone. Even the smell of her cheap state-issued soap had been scrubbed away. Like she never existed. Like I never fed poison into her veins while she mumbled my dead daughter's name in her sleep. I didn't kill Keisha because I'm a monster. I killed her because she knew. 3 weeks ago, she found the letter. The one from my lawyer. The one that said they'd found new evidence in my case. That my daughter's father had finally confessed to pulling the trigger. That I might walk. Keisha read that letter. Then she smiled. And in that smile, I saw 6 years of favor she'd demand. 6 years of debt. 6 years of ownership. You're gonna need a friend on the outside, she'd said. Someone who knows your secrets. Someone you owe. The heroin cost me everything I had. 2 months of commissary. A debt to someone worse than Keisha. But freedom isn't free. I learned that a long time ago. Officer Chen did the morning count. She's been here 8 years, longer than most. Got dead eyes like she's serving time same as us. When she reached my cell, she paused. Looked at the empty top bunk. Looked at me. You good, Ward? I met her eyes. Held them. Let her see nothing. Yeah. I'm good. She didn't believe me. I could see it in the way her hand moved toward her radio, then stopped. But she moved on. Because in here, survival means ignoring what you know. Pretending you're blind to the blood on the walls. Breakfast was eggs that looked like rubber and toast that tasted like cardboard. I sat alone. That's how I've survived 6 years. No friends. No enemies. Just invisible. But across the cafeteria, I felt eyes on me. Not the guards. Guards don't see us unless we are bleeding. These were inmate eyes. Calculating. Measuring. Roxanne Mitchell. They call her Rox. Been inside for 11 years. Manslaughter. She runs 3 cell blocks through fear and favors. Gray streaks in her hair like war paint. Scars on her knuckles from fights she won a decade ago. She was Keisha's supplier. The one who gave me the heroin. The one I now owed everything to. Rox stood. Walked toward me. Every conversation in the cafeteria died. Even the guards tensed. She sat down across from me. Picked up my toast. Took a bite. Chewed slowly. Heard about your cellie, she said. Shame. She was good people. Lie. Keisha was a snitch, a thief, and a user. Everyone knew it. But we all nodded along to Rox's fiction. Yeah, I said. Shame. Rox's eyes were black. Not brown. Black. Like looking into empty wells. You and me need to talk. Yard time. 3 o'clock. She stood. Walked away. The cafeteria breathed again. I had 5 hours. 5 hours to figure out what Rox wanted. 5 hours to plan how to survive what came next. The prison has rules. Not the official ones posted on walls. The real rules. The ones written in blood and silence. Rule 1, never owe Rox. She collects debts in pieces. A finger here. A reputation there. Your soul if she needs it. I owed her. The heroin. The silence. The disposal. Work detail was laundry. Steam and bleach and the constant roar of industrial machines. Perfect place to think. Perfect place to disappear into routine. I folded sheets. Counted the minutes. Tried not to think about my daughter. Maya. 8 years old when I got locked up. 14 now. Living with my mother in a one-bedroom apartment in Detroit. I haven't seen her in 3 years. She stopped writing 2 years ago. Stopped accepting my calls 18 months ago. The lawyer's letter said I could be free in 6 months. Could watch my daughter graduate high school. Could hold her again. If Keisha had lived, none of that would matter. She'd own me. She'd own my freedom. She'd own every moment of happiness I tried to build. So I killed her. Cleanly. Quietly. Permanently. Ward. Officer Chen stood in the doorway. Someone wants to see you. Visiting room. Not yard time. Not rocks. Someone else. My lawyer. Marcus Webb. 45 years old, receding hairline, coffee stains on every tie he owns. He's worked my case for free since year 3. Public defender who actually gives a damn. He sat across from me in the visiting room. Plexiglass between us. Phones in our hands. Naomi. We have a problem. My stomach dropped. The confession? Deshaun recanted. Said he was coerced. Said you're exactly where you belong. Deshaun. Maya's father. The man who pulled the trigger in the robbery that put me here. The man who let me take the fall because I had priors and he didn't. When? My voice sounded far away. Yesterday. His new lawyer filed the paperwork this morning. Yesterday. The day I killed Keisha. The day I murdered my cellmate to protect a freedom that no longer existed. Naomi? You okay? I wasn't okay. I was a murderer for nothing. I'd crossed a line I could never uncross. I damned myself for a lie. I'm fine. We are not giving up. I'm filing an appeal. We'll fight this. Fight? With what? I killed someone. If they ever found out, I'd die in here. Life without parole. No appeals. No hope. Marcus. Thank you. For everything. He looked confused. Like I was saying goodbye. Maybe I was. 3 o'clock came. Yard time. Wind whipped across concrete and razor wire. Gray sky promising rain. Rox stood by the fence. Smoking a cigarette she shouldn't have. Guards didn't see it. Guards never saw what Rox didn't want them to see. I walked over. Stood next to her. Waited. You know what I respect about you, Naomi? She blew smoke into the wind. You're smart. Quiet. Don't make waves. Perfect soldier. I'm not a soldier. You are now. You owe me. And I'm calling in that debt. What do you want? Rox turned. Looked at me. There's a new guard. Officer Davis. Young. Idealistic. Thinks she can change things. She smiled. She's got access to the infirmary. Medical records. Supply closet. You want me to recruit her? I want you to own her. Find her weakness. Everyone's got one. You've got until next week. And if I don't? Rox dropped her cigarette. Crushed it under her boot. Then people start asking questions about Keisha. About how she died. About who was alone with her that night. There it was. The trap. The cage I'd built myself. 1 week, I said. 1 week, Rox agreed. She walked away. Left me standing in the wind. Officer Sarah Davis was 24. Fresh out of the academy. Brown hair pulled back in a regulation bun. Wedding ring that caught the light when she did her rounds. I watched her for 3 days. Studied her patterns. Her tells. The way she looked at certain inmates with pity. The way she flinched when Officer Chen made crude jokes. The way she touched her ring when she thought no one was watching. Weakness. Everyone's got one. On day 4, I made my move. Infirmary. Fake headache. Real opportunity. Davis was working intake. Checking vitals. Following protocol with the kind of precision that comes from fear. Blood pressure's a little high, she said. Professional. Distant. Stress, I said. Hard to sleep after your cellmate dies. She paused. Looked up. I'm sorry. That must be difficult. There. Empathy. The crack in the armor. Yeah. We weren't friends. But you live with someone long enough, you know them. Know their habits. Know when something's wrong. Davis's hand moved to her ring. Twisted it. Was she using? Before? No. That's the thing. She was clean. 6 months clean. She was talking about parole. Lie. But Davis didn't know that. She just saw what she wanted to see. A tragedy. A system failure. An injustice she could fix. I think someone gave her that heroin, I said quietly. I think someone wanted her dead. Davis leaned in. Who? If I tell you, I'm dead. You know how it works in here. Hook set. Now to reel her in. But maybe, I continued, if someone was watching, paying attention, they could stop it from happening again. Davis looked around. Nurse was busy with another inmate. No cameras in the exam rooms. What would I need to watch for? She whispered. And there it was. The moment of compromise. The first step down a road she'd never come back from. I told her about the supply closet. About missing inventory. About how certain guards looked the other way. Mixed truth with lies so smoothly she couldn't tell where one ended and the other began. By the time I left the infirmary, Officer Sarah Davis was mine. And Rox would own us both. That night, I couldn't sleep. Lay in my bunk staring at the concrete ceiling. Keisha's empty bed above me was a grave I dug. I thought about Maya. About the last time I held her. About how she cried and asked why I had to go away. About how I promised her I'd come back. What was I coming back as? What had I become? 2 bunks down, someone was crying. Quiet sobs muffled by a pillow. New girl. 19 years old. Conspiracy to distribute. 25 years minimum. I used to cry like that. First year. Before I learned that tears were weakness. Before I learned that weakness got you killed. The next morning, Rox found me at breakfast. Sat down. Smiled. Heard you had a nice chat with Officer Davis. Of course she knew. Rox knew everything. She's in, I said. Good. Here's what happens next. Rox slid a torn piece of paper across the table. Names. Dosages. Schedule. Davis is gonna help us move product. Starting tomorrow. I looked at the names. Recognized some of them. Women I'd seen in the yard. Women with families. Women who were trying to stay clean. What if she says no? Rox's smile disappeared. Then you convince her. Or you take her place. Your choice. No choice. There never was. I killed Keisha for freedom. Now I was enslaving someone else. The cycle continued. The prison won. But that night, lying in the dark, I made a decision. A real one. The first honest choice I'd made in 6 years. I was going to burn it all down. Officer Davis met me in the library 3 days later. Reference section. No cameras. Old habit from before digital surveillance. I've been thinking about what you said, she whispered. About Keisha. About the drugs. And? I want to help. But I need to know who's responsible. I looked at her. Young. Naive. Still believing in justice. Still thinking the system could be fixed from the inside. I killed her, I said. Davis's face went white. She started to stand. I grabbed her wrist. Listen to me. Keisha found out I might get released. She was going to blackmail me. Own me. So I bought heroin from Rox and I put it in her arm while she slept. Clean. Quick. Murder. Why are you telling me this? Her voice shook. Because now Rox owns me. And she wants me to bring you in. Make you her mule. Use your access to move drugs through the infirmary. Turn you into what I am. Davis pulled away. Backed against the bookshelf. I should arrest you right now. You should. But you won't. Because if you do, Rox will know you know. And she'll have you killed. Not by me. Someone else. Someone who won't hesitate. Someone who won't warn you first. So what am I supposed to do? Help me destroy her. From the inside. Document everything. Build a case. Real evidence. Not prison rumors. Actual proof. Why would you do this? You killed someone. You're going to prison for the rest of your life anyway. I thought about Maya. About the daughter who stopped writing. The daughter I'd never hold again. The freedom that turned out to be a lie. Because I'm already dead. Been dead since I walked into this place. But you're not. You've got a life outside these walls. A husband. A future. Don't let this place kill that. Davis was quiet for a long time. Then she nodded. Once. Sharp. Decisive. What do you need me to do? Over the next 2 weeks, Davis documented everything. Supply closet inventory. Rox's visitors. Money transfers. Guard schedules. She wore a wire during her shifts. Recorded conversations. Built a case that would bring down not just Rox, but half the corrupt staff in the facility. And I played my part. Delivered messages. Made introductions. Pulled Davis deeper into Rox's world while secretly feeding information to the investigation. It was a betrayal. Of Rox. Of the code. Of everything that kept people alive in here. But I'd already crossed that line when I killed Keisha. Might as well make it count. The raid came on a Tuesday. Dawn. Federal agents. Warrants. Chaos. They took Rox in chains. 3 guards. 7 inmates. Dismantled the entire operation in 4 hours. I watched from my cell. Watched Rox walk past. She looked right at me. Smiled. Not angry. Not surprised. Just knowing. She knew I'd done it. Knew I'd burned her. And somehow, she respected it. Officer Davis came to see me that night. Not in uniform. Civilian clothes. End of shift. I'm transferring, she said. Different facility. Different state. Fresh start. Good. The FBI wants to talk to you. About Keisha. My stomach dropped. You told them? No. But they're investigating everyone connected to Rox. Eventually they'll figure it out. How long do I have? Maybe 6 months. Maybe 6 days. Depends on what they find. She stood to leave. Paused. Why did you do it? Really? Because I killed someone for nothing. Might as well kill something that mattered. Davis left. I never saw her again. That night, I wrote a letter. To Maya. Told her everything. The truth about her father. The truth about me. The truth about what I'd become. I didn't mail it. Just held it. Read it. Folded it carefully. Then I burned it. Watched the paper curl and blacken. Watched my confession turn to ash. Some truths aren't meant to be shared. Some sins are carried alone. They came for me 6 weeks later. Not FBI. Internal affairs. They'd found the heroin source. Traced it back to Rox. Then to Keisha. Then to me. The evidence was circumstantial. No witnesses. No confession. Just suspicion and opportunity. They moved me to isolation. Pending investigation. Pending charges. Pending the rest of my life. Officer Chen brought me my meals. Never spoke. Just slid the tray through the slot and walked away. But on day 3, she paused. Your lawyer called. Deshaun died. Car accident. Before he died, he gave a deathbed confession. Real one this time. Everything on record. I stared at her. What? You're being exonerated. Original charges dropped. You're free. She paused. Unless they can prove you killed Keisha. Freedom. The thing I'd killed for. The thing that destroyed me. The thing that waited on the other side of a murder investigation. Can they? I asked. Prove it. Chen looked at me. Really looked. Like she was seeing me for the first time in 6 years. No. They can't. But you'll know. Every day for the rest of your life, you'll know. She was right. I'd carry Keisha forever. Not in a cell. But in the hollow space where my soul used to be. They released me 3 weeks later. New clothes. Bus ticket. $200. Standard release package. I stood outside the prison gates. Breathed free air. Felt sunlight on skin that hadn't seen it unfiltered in 6 years. Marcus met me. Drove me to a halfway house. Explained parole conditions. Told me about victim impact statements I'd have to hear. About the long road to rebuilding. Your daughter wants to see you, he said. Your mother's bringing her tomorrow. Maya. 14 now. A stranger with my eyes. A girl who'd grown up without me. Okay, I said. That night, alone in a small room with bars on the windows, I thought about Keisha. About the needle. About her last breath. About the moment I chose my freedom over her life. The prison is still with me. Not behind me. Inside me. I carry those walls everywhere. I am the hollow space. The empty bunk. The silence after a murder. Tomorrow I'll hold my daughter. Tomorrow I'll lie when she asks if I'm okay. Tomorrow I'll pretend freedom means something other than carrying your own cage. But tonight, in the dark, I tell the truth. I killed her. I killed Keisha. And I'd do it again. Because that's what the prison teaches you. That survival isn't noble. It's necessary. That freedom isn't a gift. It's theft. That some cages you walk out of. And some you carry forever.